Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call upon Her Excellency, Madam Irina Bokova, the Director General of UNESCO, to deliver a speech in commemoration of International Literacy Day 2012. A big hand, please.
ท่านผู้อำนวยการใหญ่องค์การยูเนสโกครับคุณอิรินาโบโควาจะกล่าวปาฐกถาครับเนื่องในวันที่ระลึกสากลในการรู้หนังสือครับ
Thank you very much, Professor Suchar, Minister of Education of the Kingdom of Thailand, Excellencies, Ministers, Ambassadors, educationalists, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be with you today to celebrate the International Literacy Day. I can hardly think of a better place to do so than in Thailand, a country so dedicated to education for sustainable development and for literacy. The country where education for all was born. I was honored to attend the 10th meeting of the high-level group on education for all last year in Jomtien. The vision of Jomtien was that people cannot be rich without the first of riches, an education. The world has changed since 1990, the first meeting in Jomtien. Societies are more connected and complex today, and the demands for knowledge and skills have increased. 20 years ago, the Jomtien World Conference defined literacy as the basic learning need of every child and adult. This is more relevant than ever today. In today's knowledge-driven societies, lack of literacy is synonymous with poverty and exclusion. Illiterate adults are more vulnerable to ill health and human rights abuse. They are more likely to be unemployed and paid less. And we saw just now, a while ago, with this very interesting presentation by young people, how much literacy matters. Illiteracy locks communities into vicious circles of poverty that lay the conditions for violence and strife. 40% of the world's out-of-school kids of primary school age live today in conflict-affected countries. We know the transformational power of literacy for combating poverty, for advancing gender equality, for improving family health, for promoting democratic participation. Literacy provides women and men with skills to shape the world to their aspirations. The good news is there is nothing inevitable about illiteracy. This is a challenge we can overcome. In the year 2000, the countries of the world agreed to halve adult literacy by the year 2015. In 2003, the United Nations launched the International Literacy Decade as a way to mobilize attention and resources. The decade closes this year, and we have made progress. Communities and countries have reached out to children and adults to enable them to read and write. The lives of 90 million young men and women and adults have been transformed. The government of Thailand is showing what can be done by making education compulsory and free until the age of 15, and by promoting an equivalency program to bridge formal and non-formal learning up to secondary level. The Thailand Knowledge Park is an example of this country's strong focus to promote a literate and learning society. Thailand has indeed one of the world's most successful non-formal education systems, including over 9,000 community learning centers for literacy and lifelong learning. I was honored this morning to visit one such center, the Bampom Community Learning Center in Ayutthaya province. Bampom is one of 106 centers that was severely affected by the floods last year. These centers illustrate the government's work to provide literacy and lifelong learning opportunities to adolescents and adults. I commend the government of Thailand's strong commitment to reduce the number of out-of-school children at primary age and to promote youth and adult literacy. I would say that this reflects values that are deeply rooted in Thai society. These values are embodied in the philosophy of the sufficiency economy developed by His Majesty King Bhumibol. They are taken forward by Her Royal Highness Princess Maha Sirindorn, who has devoted her life to reaching the disadvantaged and who has shared this commitment as UNESCO's Goodwill Ambassador for the empowerment of minority children through education and through the preservation of their intangible cultural heritage. I must say how honored I am to be invited to participate in the celebrations tomorrow to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the birth of Her Majesty Queen Sri Savirindira, the Queen Grandmother of Thailand, who embodied these values. Thailand is sharing its experience with other countries. As lead country, for instance, in the UNESCO project on the development of community-based learning centers in rural areas in Southeast Asia for literacy and livelihood. All of this shows what commitment, resources, and effective policies can do. Great projects are underway across the world, and I'm very pleased to attend this ceremony to recognize national literacy initiatives. I wish to congratulate and thank each of these for their vision and hard work. Last Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, I awarded the UNESCO King Sejong Literacy Prize and the UNESCO Confucius Literacy Prize to two programs in this region. Recognition went to the Indonesian Directorate of Community Education Development for taking forward entrepreneurship literacy, a reading culture and tutor training, reaching almost 3 million people with a focus on women. The Bhutan Non-Formal and Continuing Education Program also received recognition for its 950 centers, providing literacy and skills, especially to girls and women. We need more such inspiring programs because we are not on track to reach our goals. Despite the rise of global adult literacy rate from 76% to 83% between the years 1990 and 2010, there remain today 775 million illiterate adults, including 122 million youth between the age of 15 and 24. The Asia and Pacific region alone counts 506 million adult illiterates. Without decisive action, 753 million adults will remain illiterate in year 2015. Girls and women are hit hardest, representing 64% of the illiterate population. Global progress is stagnating because of population growth and the large numbers of children and young people failing to become literate. We must scale up efforts in formal and non-formal pathways at the local, national, and international levels. This requires stronger commitment and sharper focus. UNESCO is bringing both to this closing year of the United Nations Literacy Decade, including through our work to take forward our literacy initiative for empowerment. Last week, UNESCO organized in Paris a high-level international roundtable on literacy entitled Reaching the 2015 Literacy Target, Delivering on the Promise. This brought development partners together with 41 countries facing formidable literacy challenges, including over 20 ministers or vice ministers, to explore how to deliver results. Later this month in Bangkok, an all-children reading regional workshop will be organized by the Global Partnership for Education in collaboration with UNESCO and other partners. The decision to declare Bangkok the world capital of book in 2013 will promote this same goal. This is just some of many events ahead in this region. Action is sharpening also at the global level. Later this month, the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, will launch a new global education initiative, Education First, to push forward equity, quality, and global citizenship in the global education agenda, giving UNESCO a leading role. I'm pleased to serve as Executive Secretary to this initiative, and we will work hard to reach the Education for All goals and place education at the heart of global sustainability efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, illiteracy is synonymous today with injustice and poverty. We must turn this around, and we can if we pull together. UNESCO will help countries every step of the way in formulating effective policies by backing their implementation. But we must match commitments with the resources to make them work. There is no better investment today than in education. Literacy is the straightest path out of the economic crisis. It is also the surest path to defense of the dignity and rights of every woman and man. Literacy is also a power for peace, but it is also a force for development. I thank you all for your commitment to these shared goals, and especially all of the winners today for the inspiration they provide. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have this conference here in a hotel that is called Miracle. I think the best of the miracles nowadays is to give literacy to the people. Let's make this miracle a reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please kindly remain on stage, if you may. We have the opening ceremony coming up.